Welcome to Let's Talk Etiquette. We're so pleased to be back here once again on CAN TV 21. It's always a pleasure to be here with you, and I'm so happy to be here again. And we have such a terrific number of things to talk about today. And it's been a really fast, busy day today, so we're going to cover as much as we can on all of those things we here at the Etiquette Foundation of Illinois are doing for our citizens in this great state. But first, allow me to introduce you to my very special co-host today, Madam Louise Smith, Etiquette Maven Extraordinary. And just say hello to our audience here.
Hello, I am so happy to be here and a part of the foundation.
Yes, yes, yes. And she has been a member, what is it, 12, 13 years you've been with
Yes,
the foundation?
it's been about that long,
Yes,
yes.
yes, yes. And so I don't think you've ever came on CAN TV. I can't remember. Did you?
No, this is my first time. I'm excited.
Oh, wow. We really just, well, we had a number of people at that time who wanted to just really be on here. So I'm just so happy that you have time today to join us. We were supposed to be interviewing George Mannings today. And unfortunately, his schedule changed, and therefore he wasn't able to be with us. And this great maven here was so kind to change your schedule
Oh,
and do those kinds of things to be here for this taping. So I'm so pleased. This is your first show, and it's going to be a terrific show. We're going to cover a lot of different things. And starting first with, we met with Congressman Danny Davis today. And we talked about a number of things. He's one of our biggest supporters. And he wants us out here doing what we do and making a difference in this society, especially on the west side of Chicago.
right.
And of course, we're also talking to Congressman Bobby Rush to see if he can be of assistance to us on his side of town. Okay? But the essence of it is the violence. We're up to here. You know, when I come in Chicago, I'm on high alert.
Yeah.
Why should I be on high alert? It's not just on the west or the south side of Chicago. It's on the expressways.
That's right.
You know, the road rage has become illuminous in the last 20 years. People, now they're carrying weapons and getting in shootouts like the Wild Wild West. You know, gun battles on the expressway at 90 miles an hour, you know, chasing each other and shooting. It's incredible, you know. And so etiquette is so, so important, and we need to start with every school in the country, just not in Chicago's west side or south side. But tell me, what some of the experiences you had in the classroom, share some of that with us.
Well, I had an opportunity to work with the children in Bellwood here in Chicago.
Okay.
And the school was Lincoln.
Yes.
And it was grades maybe between first and fourth grade, the younger children.
Okay. Okay.
And I'm telling you, it was impeccable. The
Yes.
response that I got
Yes.
from teaching the class, it was great. It was outstanding.
Yes.
The children were very, very, very responsive.
Oh, wonderful.
So I was in the classroom I had an hour.
Oh, great. Okay.
It was an hour, and we went over just little things like please and thank you.
And
And they,
what grades did you do?
I had the opportunity to teach actually second grade.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And the
Well, that's a
second
good
graders,
age. That's a good
they
age.
were, oh my
That's a
goodness.
good age.
And we went over like how to sit in a chair.
Right.
The ladies cross their legs this
Yes,
way, and the
yes.
gentlemen cross their legs that way.
Yes.
And please and thank you to avoid arguments and
Yes.
things like that.
So
And so once teaching the class, the response that I got the follow-up week was the teacher was like, oh,
right.
we avoided so many arguments, and all you heard was please and thank you.
Yes.
So it was very, very effective. Very effective.
Right. Well, see, this is testimony that we know is so true because when you're in that classroom, you have, 20 or 25 students,
Yes.
and these are second graders, and they could be a little, antsy, I would say. And to get their attention and to get them to hear your message and what you were trying to teach them, it's really a great feeling because you see how they respond.
Yes.
And that's so important at that age because We at the Etiquette Foundation know full well that from first grade to fourth grade are really the critical years of their social character development.
Yes.
And if they, your lesson is certainly, you were there for what, like a full year or half a year?
Yes.
Yes, so you had like 30 or 40 lessons
Yes.
that you covered for the whole semester. And part of, those lessons were character development.
Yes.
And why it's important to be compassionate.
Yes.
It's so much fun explaining that to a second grader,
It is. They were very excited.
Yes. And any of the issues with the curriculum that they seem to have a problem with understanding, can you share any of that with me?
Oh no, it was like I said, it was very effective. Nice and simple. We just did like role plays in the classroom.
Oh yes.
And then we read stories that talked about
That's
manners.
right.
We did story time on the mat
Right.
with the children, and we had fun with it. We did pictures, coloring, and
Right.
sorts of things. So we did activities that made it be like not so much as like hard for the kids to kind of retain what you're saying and relate to what you're saying.
Right.
So it was fun.
Yes.
It was fun. And
I know I've done second graders myself, and it is a lot of fun. I remember one class I had second graders, and one of the students said, "Mr. Wright, I love etiquette." And I said, "Oh, you love it?" I said, "So do I." and so it is a lot of fun. And if you never taught in a school when you have 25, 30 students, and did you have this experience? Because with my class, I think like when I got to the fourth or fifth session, they knew that I was coming on a certain day at a certain time, right? And they straightened up in their chair and sit there with their hands folded. Good morning, Mr. Wright. Did you do that? That was so much fun. I know the teacher probably prepped him for it or whatever, but it was such a nice thing. And then you always have a boy that wants to get up and open the door for you. Did you have one?
Yes.
He's so excited about getting up to open the door when you're going to leave. And so tell us about some of the other experiences you may have had with the kids.
Another experience that I had is that well, first I'm gonna say it was so effective. They don't want you to leave.
They don't want you to leave. The students don't want you to leave.
The students do not want you to leave.
No.
So they're upset when the class is over. They're like, no,
Yes.
don't go.
Yes.
So the enthusiasm that you get on the return, man, it's heartfelt. It's incredible.
Heartfelt.
It's
Yes.
incredible.
Yes.
So teaching children etiquette, I think, is very effective, and I think it will be great, like you said, not just here in Chicago.
Right.
It will be great all over.
All over the country. You're absolutely right. Because those are the kinds of values. Etiquette sounds like something about just eating. It's not. It's about your totality of who you are. Everything you do in this society, which is a civil society, meaning you have to behave in a civilized way. That's what it is. Civilization is what we have created. And then you take the civil part of it, and that's to determine how you are to behave. Okay? So it's a civil, meaning that it's etiquette, behavior, society. Those values that are part of etiquette are your lessons on how you are to comport yourself in this society. And this is something that I'm sure you experience on a regular basis. As an example, if you are waiting on the elevator, the person may hold the door open for you.
Yes.
That's part of being civil.
Yes.
Okay? If you are walking down the street, a gentleman may move over not to force you to walk around him.
Exactly.
He's being civil. And see, these are the lessons that we teach so that when you become an adult, it becomes automatic.
Exactly.
And so this is what makes etiquette so important and so powerful in terms of how we are conducting ourselves. And my conversation with the congressman, he acknowledged that our kids are not civil because they haven't been taught how to be civil. They may know a little about math, a little about history, or any of these other disciplines that they're insisting that that's all the thing they need to learn. But you have to learn how to be human.
Right.
And we teach them how to be human and how to
Yes.
be humane.
Yes.
So share some other things you may have encountered in your class that may be a good example.
Some other things that I encountered in the classes that do from the etiquette class that was that we taught, the teacher's response was it helped to discipline the kids and help them sit in the chair, and she
Yes.
had a better control
Ah, yes, that's so
after
true.
after a few sessions in the class,
Yes.
with the etiquette class.
Yes.
She had better control of her class.
Yes, and that's so
So-
important.
Yes.
That's so important. If you're teaching in a classroom and
Mm-hmm.
you have 25, 30 students there, and you can't teach if you have Johnny disrupting,
Yes.
pulling on Mary's hair, or
Yes.
distracting someone. You cannot teach because you have to stop the lesson. Let's say, John, please stop it, or whatever, or tell John, you go stand up in the corner over there, or whatever, right?
Right. Exactly.
But that takes time, so teachers lose a huge part of their teaching time disciplining.
Yes.
And they don't really have the skills. They can tell Johnny, go be quiet, sit down, shut up, or whatever. But they're not teaching him why it's important for him to behave in a certain way in the classroom.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
and so that's one of the things that I felt was so important. And you're right. Teachers love us.
Yeah.
They don't want us to go,
Yes.
and they'll tell you that,
Yes.
and so that's a double plus.
Yes.
And we say, well, please tell your principal.
Right.
Please tell your principal. So it's a joy to have you as my guest for today, because you have been down there in the trenches. You know what it's all about. You're not just talking off the top of your head. You had to deal with it.
Yes.
And the first 2 or 3 lessons, once they understand what your program is all about and your teaching is all about, they're very cooperative.
Oh, definitely. Yes.
They're very cooperative.
Yes.
And some of these classrooms are really disruptive.
Oh,
The
yes.
teacher tell you, they was just crazy. They was wild up in here.
Yeah.
And now you got them under control.
Yes.
And that's an honor to get that kind of compliment from a teacher who is struggling. It's hard. You think if you don't teach, just come down to some of these inner city schools. I'm not talking about those private schools. I'm talking about these inner city schools where the parents are single parents, and where it's all kinds of dysfunctional things going on in their homes.
Yes.
And then this child is sent off to school with all kinds of unbelievable things that they have experienced, and maybe just hunger. If you don't haven't ate and didn't have a decent meal,
Yes.
your psychic is not right. You can't relate to just basic things because you're hungry. And many kids, and that's why they had to have breakfast programs. Going back to the Black Panthers, they taught breakfast. They provided breakfast so the kids have some energy. You need energy
Yes.
to go in and learn. Your brains need to be fed.
Well, I can relate on many levels because I was a single parent of 3.
Oh, okay.
And my children actually went through the etiquette training.
Yes, they did. Yes, they
And
did.
all 3 of my daughters are very successful and well-mannered.
Yes, yes.
So it did play a very intricate role in helping me as a single parent
Yes.
instill morals and values and some civil behavior with
Yes.
my own children.
Yes.
So I definitely have a personal testimony that
That is so true.
I am.
I'm glad you're sharing that with us.
So I thought I'd interject that because just to let them know how important etiquette is.
Yes, yes.
It's very important.
Yes, and that's true. Your children were in the program.
Yes.
And they did excellent. They did very well. And you had all the lessons to teach them, right?
Yes. I backed it up at home.
Right.
But another thing too, I wanted to say about working in the school system as it relates to my family. It was plenty of children in the class where you can tell where came to school with clothes wasn't on right and just things that will help with self-esteem.
Yes, didn't bathe.
Didn't bathe, yes, hair ungroomed. So all of that plays an intricate role too in the development of the self-esteem of a child.
Absolutely, we do
So,
cover self-esteem.
yes,
It's a very
yes,
important.
yes.
That's a very important subject because that relates to you, who you are, and what
Yes.
you're trying to achieve with your life.
Yes.
And then the other part of it too is you playing a role in society. All of us play roles. We all have a
Yes.
role to play.
Yes.
And in the classroom, I'm sure you share with your students, you are a student in this
Yes.
institution, this school.
Yes.
And so you have a role to play, like the lady in the lunchroom has a role to play.
Yes.
The principal has a role. Everyone has a role to play, and you have a role as a student.
Yes.
And so we had. Did we have the 10 classroom etiquette rules? Did we have that back then?
You know
When
what?
you
I'm sure that we did. Um,
classroom etiquette?
Classroom etiquette.
Yes.
Another thing I wanted to interject too is that working with the children in the class, it also, although we had the 10 rule etiquette, as you work with the children, you realize what you have to add and take out.
Yes.
Because when you're teaching etiquette, everything is not applicable to every kid. So you
Right.
got to find another route to go around
Right.
to reach them.
Reach them. And that's part of your creativity as an etiquette
Yes.
maven. You have to be able to be diverse and transitional and try this out, try
Yes.
that out.
Yes.
You know, and then of course, most of our teaching, even though we have handouts that we give to the children,
Yes.
most of our teaching is on our feet.
Yes.
We don't sit down to teach anything. We're constantly talking and moving, and unless we're doing our story time,
Yes.
and then you'll sit down to read the story to
Yes.
the children. And all of our story times is about an etiquette situation,
Yes.
about good manners, being polite, helping the lady cross the street.
Yes.
Those values that are important because that sets the foundation of their character.
Yes.
And it's not like what we're doing is rocket science.
Exactly.
But they're not doing it, and what do we have because it's not being done?
Right.
Okay, we have chaos and mayhem, violence and murder. The jails are full
Yes.
of people that did not get etiquette educated.
Yes. Yes.
Had they got etiquette educated, the jails would be empty.
Empty.
Empty, okay? Guaranteed. The violence would not be. Okay, it would be like it was 50 years ago when there was no such thing as nobody being shot. In my high school days, no one, I never heard of anybody being shot to death in my 4 or 5 years of high school.
Right.
Okay, that wasn't. Now you hear about it every other day.
Yeah.
Okay, but we transition, right? We're going to transition to another subject that we're very, very excited about before we get
Yes.
kicked off the air. Is we have developed a new department called the Arts and Cultural Department. And reason the Etiquette Foundation is interested in developing this side of the social cultural side of life is because we are lovers of jazz and blues and all of the other art forms that this great society has produced and contributed to our well-being and health. And so we have decided to start our own jazz series. And fortunately, we have a good friend on the southeast side of Chicago. Norman Briscoe. I'm sure you know on 43rd east of Drexel. He has he is allowing us to use Room 43 to bring back jazz. So for those who have visited the Room 43 for jazz for many years when it was under the Hyde Park Jazz Society, now you'll be able to come back to Room 43 for jazz. And we may do blues because Checkerboard Lounge was right there on 43rd Street. That's a historical institution.
Yes.
So tell us about your feelings about this new venture.
I am very excited about it. I think it's a perfect time for it.
Yes.
To bring jazz back with everything that's going on with the pandemic, with the killing, the violence. It will definitely create the right tone for adults, nice entertainment.
Yes, yes.
And we giving something back to the community.
I think so. I think so. Because the Etiquette Foundation of Illinois covers all of the social, cultural, and artistic dimensions of our life and our relationship as citizens of this great state. So we're happy to be involved in something that people love. And Chicago is the home of jazz and blues. I mean, you can go back to the 20s, and this was the mecca of jazz and blues in the country, and not New York, although, I'm not going to take anything away from New York or California. But this was really the big hub for jazz and blues, and all the great jazzmen played here in Chicago. And so we are very happy, and certainly we have great members like Ms. Smith is here, that's excited about it, and I'm sure you're going to play a role in making this great new venture happen. Tell us a little more about what our committee has been talking about.
Just talking about reaching back to some of the regular jazz groups that were there down there in what was it?
Room 43?
Room 40. No, not Room 43. The
Checkerboard
High
Lounge.
Park. We're reaching out now, and we're gonna feature a lot of jazz bands that we're in the community, people familiar with. Some old, some new.
Okay, great.
So it's gonna be a great time, and we want everybody to come out and support it.
Yes.
And I am very excited. Very excited.
Yes. I think that it's going to be a real great venture for us because I'm a jazz enthusiast, and our committee, we formed a committee, and our committee are all excited about this new opportunity to bring people together in a good, fun way, in a happy way. So one of the things that was talked about in terms of jazz at Room 43 on 43rd Street was that we wanted to have a cocktail hour. And I thought that was such a terrific idea. For the first hour, we have some nice wine. You come in, you mingle, and you interact. You talk to the band members, and just have a really good time and just socializing for that first hour.
Exactly.
And so I think that's going to be a real big hit. And I'm going to be buying some wine and donating it to the foundation so that you can have a glass of wine when you come to the cocktail hour. One of the things also I was thinking, I'd like to know what you think about it. We have hundreds of crystal wine glasses.
Oh.
Not the plastic cups. I can't stand those plastic cups drinking any kind of beverage out of it, even water almost. It just don't taste right.
Not proper etiquette, right?
Not proper etiquette. And see, so they have gone to that. So I'm thinking going up in the storage and pulling out maybe 100 of those glasses. So when you come for the cocktail hour, you'll be able to have a glass of wine out of a crystal glass. And that's elegance, And so we want to take the notch up a little higher in terms of elegance. And so you contributed some really terrific ideas in terms of new people to bring on. And I think that's so important. Some new artists, we need to introduce some. So can you talk about any of the ones that you like in particular?
One particular one that I like, she's not new, but she's a jazz artist, Sean Fay.
Sean Fay, okay.
Okay. And she has her own album, own solo. And she's good. She sang around Chicago. She probably is well known to a lot of people. Okay. So she's going to be great.
How do you compare with some of the great female jazz vocalists? Does she come to mind that she kind of reminds you of? Sarah Vaughan, Billie Holiday.
I think she has more like a Billie Holiday effect.
Oh, okay.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay, that's bad. I love Billie.
She definitely has a Billie Holiday feel, with the music that she sings. I mean, voice would just blow you away.
Oh, can't wait. We may have her on the first show, grand opening. We're going to have a grand opening.
Yes.
And certainly the Wednesday before Sunday, because it's on a Sunday evening, we're going to be on CAN TV promoting it up to here, okay? And so please take some notes on it. And we're talking about what timeline are we talking about it? In terms of when will it be our first, what are we talking about?
The committee is still kind of putting that together, so I don't want to actually give a timeline. Is there anything that you were aware of?
No, I know that we were talking about probably end of the month, the first of next month.
Okay.
Probably the first of September.
Okay.
That'll give us time to really get out there and promote it. And it's going to be a lot of word of mouth. I have a bunch of friends and emails to send out, and you as well. And the committee, I think we have like six people on the committee now.
Yes, and we're going to be pushing and working hard.
And everybody's going to be doing their little thing. And we're going to put some printed material out there as well as put something together on email to send out some promos on that. And we got a couple of young, great
we'll take advantage of the technology to get the word out.
Oh, yes. And we do have mentors who help us with those kind of things.
Yes.
And so this is going to be a great experience, a lot of fun. And so we will continue talking about that for the next couple of shows.
Yes.
And so I don't know what time we have left on the show, but let's go back to my meeting with Congressman Davis today. Okay, we got 5 minutes. So one of the things we did cover is going to get this in. He's going to talk to Tom Dot
Okay.
about us coming up in the jail
Oh, that's awesome.
and teaching inmates who are 30 to 45 days of being released from jail.
So it'll be like transitional.
They're transitional. So, to get to them and give them a couple of weeks of good etiquette lessons. And then we're going to track them for the first 40 or 60 days after they are released to see if they committed any kind of other criminal acts and end up back in the jail. And what we are hoping and what we believe is that going through our program, they are not going to be criminals anymore. They're not going to break the law.
Exactly.
Because we know what to say to them about why you don't have to do that.
That's right.
It's not necessary for you to waste your life and your time doing that. There's so many other things you can do that's great things to do. So we'll be talking about those kind of things, and we have the lesson plans to go with it. And so he also says he's going to talk to the people at the juvenile division for us.
Right.
So that maybe we can go over there, because we were there 4 or 5 years ago. And those kids loved us so, Louise, I'm telling you, they loved us so that they cried.
Oh, I believe it.
And these were teenagers, 15, 16, children doing things that they shouldn't be doing. And they actually was really, really sad. And you get that even with your regular school kids.
Definitely.
They want us to remain. Playground etiquette. That's another thing that we've done with some of these schools. Because when you go out on the playground, there's rules to playing.
Yes.
In our day, I'm not saying you're as old as me, but in our day, we had rules for all of those kinds of activities. And so the kids today, they just run up and hit and push and kick and do all kinds of things that really bullying others and so on and so forth. So that was very successful in one of our schools in the suburbs, teaching them playground etiquette. Okay. So I don't know how close we are to concluding. Was there any final thoughts you may want to have on either the jazz or on your teaching in the classrooms? Anything else you'd like to share with your family and your daughters and all the college degree educated and...
The only thing that I would like to conclude with is that the importance of etiquette for us all. The times that we live in today with the killing, the violence, the pandemic, we really need to exercise proper etiquette just for survival at this point.
Yes, so true.
For survival.
Absolutely.
Avoiding the virus, proper etiquette is implemented.
Yes. You
probably can save your life.
Absolutely.
So I would definitely like to leave on that note.
Wonderful. Great closing. If you want to reach us, simply call us at 312-473-2942, or you can go to www.efoi.org and go to our website. Check us out. Send us a message. We'd be more than happy to hear from you. And please invite us out to your school.
Yes.
Your school need us. Your children need us. I guarantee you they will be pleased with what we offer. So with that, I'd like to conclude the show. Thank you so much for watching and viewing us, and look forward to seeing you on next Wednesday at 7 o'clock. Okay?